Welcome to Aaron Plays. In this episode, I will be doing turn 4 of scenario 17 from World at War 85, Storming the Gap by Lock and Load Publishing. First 3 turns were night, and this is the first day turn. The Warsaw Pact is controlled by the Solo Assistant, and I am controlling the NATO forces. The aim for the Warsaw Pact is to take a minimum of 2 of the 3 objectives. Objective A over on this side of the board, Objective C, which is a bridge over on this side of the board, and Objective B. They capture all 3, it's a decisive victory. If they capture 2, it's a marginal. If they don't capture any, then, well, they only capture 1 or any, then I win a victory as the NATO forces. I realized at the end of last turn, or during the course of last turn, that I'd made a mistake in my defense setup for the NATO forces, in that these bridges here are all blown. So my guys I place on this side of the bridge have no way to get back across to help to defend Objective C. True, the Warsaw Pact are coming through this way rather than going through the minefield, but they do have forces that can cross the rivers in their BMPs, which are amphibious. Okay, they have another force coming on here, a tank armored force, which are currently driving towards Objective A, that could change, and some Soviet forces that are due to enter this turn in and along the southern edge here. Now, this could potentially be a long turn due to the fact that the last turn, these 4 formations did not activate. So before these 2 end of operation cards can go back into this deck, these formations must all be activated at least once. So this is a potential of a long turn. If it starts to get too long, I will cut this into 2 videos. So without any further, let's do this. Okay, so that is my infantry formation, which is these guys here. Right. Going through the sequence of play. There's no refresh because nothing's been activated. Command status, there's the HQ. Do I wish to move it? No, I think it's fine there. Everyone's within 5 hexes, so everyone's under command. Missile reload, there's none of that required. Disruption removal, there's no disrupted units. And the off-board artillery strikes. Now, I do have some HE, which I would like to bring down. Okay, from the HQ, I'd like to bring a fire for effect in here. It only affects the target hex. I have 3 artillery. I'm going to try and bring 1 in there. So anything but a 6 and it will land on that spot. I do have to do a spotting roll for the HQ. No. If it was any other unit, no. I'm going to check. I can't remember if they need to do a spotting roll. Yeah, I'm confusing myself. Yes, the HQ is fine. It doesn't require a spotting roll. So anything but a 6 and it lands in that hex. Okay. And then it makes an attack. Well, HE is 3 dice at 4. That vehicle. That's 2 hits. Okay. You get 1 dice roll, save at 5 to save. It's not in any cover. No. All right. So 2 hits. I'll move that to the side now. Remove the HE. So this is a NATO strike, so I'll delete that. We've got 2 strikes left. So that will mean that unit is reduced with 2 hits and disrupted. The infantry, 1, 2, 3, they're okay. 4, 5, 6, they also take a hit. They're okay. All right, but they are all disrupted in that hex. Sometimes. There we go. All right. Let's scroll that down. So it's on the infantry. There we go. Right. I can bring a maximum of 2 artillery strikes down if I wish. But I think I'm quite happy with that at present. Okay. Let's keep that in reserve. So, I do also have some mines. That might be useful to drop around here. Okay, I will actually do that as well. So they do have 2 lots of artillery delivered mines available. I'm going to try and drop some here. Again, anything but a 6. Okay, and spot on. So let's clone those. Right. So the first one must land in that hex there. Next one can be adjacent to that. So let's put it on the road. And the last one we'll put there. Okay. And that's then deleted. All right, so that's my 2 artillery strikes from the HQ. Okay, so at least we've got some mines in place. So either way, I mean, they've got 1 hex free here. Well, there's no way I can protect that as well. So next up is the normal missions. So I will now fire this mortar. Okay, using again the HQ as a spotter. So this is onboard artillery, indirect fire. And I will make the target. I think I need to start causing some losses on these guys. This unit here that I've already brought in to target this turn. So he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hexes away because this has got a minimum range of 7 hexes. So he's within range of HQ spotting for him. So I make sure I've got no die roll to make for the actual spotting of that. Okay, I do not need to make an additional roll because it's still my HQ that's spotting. I did incorrectly say that they had, because it's an SPM, it's got a minimum range of 2, not 7. The Warsaw Pact SPA here has a minimum range of 7. Okay, so it's still within its range. There's no point blank range. So you've got 3 dice at 5 on this target. That's again 2 hits. He gets no armored save. It's the same as when he was hit by the HE from off board. He does get automatically 1 save for the armor. That might have sounded a bit contradictory. Okay, he doesn't get the, like a heavy armored unit or a light armored unit would normally save from direct fire, be rolling at 5 and get the amount of dice equal to their armor rating. When it's hit by HE from off-board or on-board indirect fire, they don't get their armored value, but they automatically get a D6 to save based on the 5 or whatever rating their vehicle has. So 1 5 to save. They save 1, so they take 1 hit. That will eliminate the BMP2 and the infantry. 1, 2, 3, they'll be reduced. 4, 5, 6, they'll be eliminated. They are actually eliminated. Okay. So goes into the holding box. Holding box. There we go. Those. Right, and that marks my mortar unit ops completed. And still my HQ hasn't actually done an operation as yet. My infantry unit here will fire at the infantry unit adjacent to them, and will fire the dragon at the BMP that's already reduced. So resolving the dragon first, that's at point blank range because it's half or less, so that'll be 3 dice at 4, which will be 3 dice at 3 to hit. That's 2 hits. And with 2 hits, he's got a 1 at 5 to save. No. So he's eliminated as well. Now, I should have placed a wreck. There's 1 wreck there. I'm actually just going to move him here just to place a wreck. And then remove him. Okay. Checking for missile ammo. Yeah, they've got plenty. So mark that as ops complete. The infantry itself will fire into the adjacent hex. He's using the HE value, 2 at 6. As he's point blank, that'll become 2 at 5. 1 hit. They're in no cover, so they become reduced. No saving roll, basically. Okay. I reckon I'll keep those 2 available for ops completed. Right, so now the tank. Again, I'm not going to fire it. I'm going to wait to see if these activate. So at least I've got some opportunity fire availability, and also this vehicle on top of this hill. See if he can op fire if they start moving forward. So I won't commit them. So that will complete the operations on that card. Next card. Right, that is the first of these formations being activated. I'll bring the HQ onto the map. Okay. That's these guys here. Right, so there's no refresh or command status. They are all in command. No missiles to reload, no disruptions to remove. Off-board artillery strikes. They have got some off-board artillery. I don't think they really have anyone within line of sight they could affect at the moment. Might save that for them. But it's the AI. Let's draw a card. Just drawn card 46. I'm looking under the priorities. On card 46, there is nothing mentioned about off-board artillery. So that's that done. Into the action phase. So now drawing a card for the formation. Okay. And let's zoom out a little bit. Okay. Line of sight. There is line of sight to a unit over there, which is range of 16. So that's extremely long range. It says, well, it's not extremely long range. It's at long range. It says execute on, this is card 51, execute counteractions. So they're on the offensive counteraction. I'm looking on here. Offensive posture. Condition 1 doesn't apply. It says AEO moves onto the map. Well, they're already on map. AEO within line of sight, the most units move and fire towards cover unless already in cover. Okay, move and fire 1. towards cover unless already in cover. Okay. This is move or move and fire. Right. Well, at 16 hex range, a T-72, remember the range says 12-3-4, so they can actually fire out to 24 hex range. That would change a 3-4 to, because they're at long range, into 3-5. And it says move off and fire, so that would actually change that to 3-5. As they'd be moving, probably into 3-6s. So judgment call, it says, and towards cover. So this is cover. So they could be continuing their move this way or moving behind the cover here. Remembering these guys are on hills, which you can see down here. So it looks like they're going to be moving this way. So we're going to execute that move command now. Don't need that on the board anymore because it's no longer night. These guys on the hill, can they see down into this area? Okay. So the hill is 9 hexes away. So there's a blind zone up to 18 hexes. So pretty much, if anything covers over that hill, over that woods, they can't be seen. So these definitely can't be seen. Moving to here, they can't be seen, and obviously moving in through here, they can't be seen either. So the answer is no. All right, so these guys will actually then move towards their objective, which is currently A, because the distance is closer to A. And the move and fire, it says move or move and fire, but that range is not going to be that effective. That will just slow them down. So 1, 2, I'll zoom back in on the board. 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to move these behind. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and I'll mark all of those as complete. Okay, so that concludes that formation. Where's the turn track? There it is. Okay. Oops, I'll take that off. Right, so the next card out is the blue. That's another one of these. So that's my formation. Let's remove all the, there we go. Bring the HQ onto the map. Right. Refresh status. Command, they're all in command. Nothing to load. Disruption removal. Okay, so his morale is 7. 2 for the HQ makes it a 9. I'll have to remove that. No, he still doesn't want. That's 2 turns in a row that he hasn't removed that disruption. Okay. Right, so hopefully my infantry will come up here. This gives them some armored support. So we will continue to move 2, 3, 4, 5. As he's got no enemy line of sight, he can carry on moving this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ops complete. Next card. The Soviets have arrived. Okay. This is a big tank formation that is arriving. And they're coming in anywhere from this hex right the way through to that hex. Okay. So I'm drawing a card for them. It is card 41. It says that none of the rest apply because all the first three are the secondary orders because they're not got line of sight. Say fire. Well, they've got no one to fire at because they're obviously way out of range. They've got no line of sight. It then says execute victory conditions, and the execute victory condition, the first one is move towards line of sight. Move towards victory objective. So I'm going to have them enter here. Now, let me bring the units. Okay, these are 10 T80s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, two, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So can we spread out a little bit? Not too much, but enough. There we go. Ops complete. Right, that's the Soviets in. Next up, my infantry command again. Okay. So refresh, I remove ops completed markers. That's refresh. Command status, happy with where the HQ is. Missile reloads, no missiles to reload. No disruptions to remove. Off-board artillery, I think I'll keep the rest powder dry on that one. Actions. Okay, I will activate this Dagon again and fire at the BMP2 in that hex. Again, 2 hex range, and the infantry will fire on the infantry adjacent to them again. So 2 hex range. So it's 3 at 4, 3 at 3. 2 hits. This time they do get benefit of the cover of the wreck. So that's 2 at 5. 1 save, so they are disrupted. Check for the missiles. Okay, they are now marked missile low, or missile reload. The infantry will be firing on there. That's 2 dice at 5 because they're point blank. No hits. Okay. Put the missile load on top. All right, so they are now marked ops complete. Okay. Is there anything else I want to do with that command? Well, the mortar can't fire as opportunity fire indirectly. So I'm going to try and fire. Well, I will fire onto this infantry unit here. So using the HQ as spotter, that's 3 dice at 5. 3 hits. He's got no cover. Unfortunately, he's eliminated. That's devastating. Ops completed. Okay, the rest I will keep available when the Germans activate. Next card. Right, we have some helicopters. Okay, I'm going to pause at this point where I check where they come on and how I'm going to deal with them using the Solo Assistant. There's no guidance in the Solo module rules about helicopters. There are 2 Soviet helicopters arriving, and they can come anywhere along this board edge. That's where they can enter from. Okay. They can fly in fly mode. They can move up to 12 movement points and still fire. If they move more than 12, they cannot fire. Okay, they have quite an effective HE weapon here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a card for them. Then I'll determine where they come on. I mean, if it's anywhere along here, they'll probably give support. However, I do have 1 unit that has potential of firing some anti-aircraft stuff at them. So again, they will probably know that, but let's see what the card says and see if it's any help to me whatsoever. So we've drawn card 54. So at the present moment, they're not on the board. So looking at the secondary objectives, and it says execute highest firepower AO closest to a disrupted unit. I have no disrupted units. It says fire. It then says good order AEO closest to a victory objective, move towards. Okay, so we're going to have them moving towards a victory objective. Now, there's 3 boards they could come on. This is my only unit here at present that can be given a anti-aircraft weapon. So would they deliberately avoid that? Would they come in? I said they've got HE in flying mode, but not AP. Now, when they go into hover mode, so if I just flip one of these over, hover, you can see they do actually then have HE again, and they do have that very nasty looking anti-tank guided weapon missile. So 3 boards they could enter on. I can't see any reason why they'd enter way back here. It doesn't make much sense. So I would think they would come on this last board. Now, the question is, would they come on here and directly engage these, or would they come on, fly in, and then try to engage the tanks? So I'm going to make a die roll, because either one of them would be beneficial to them. Engaging the infantry would then free up their approach this way. Engaging the tanks will obviously help the upcoming tank battle against the T-72s and the T-80s. So I'm going to say it's a 50-50. So 1 to 3, they will engage my infantry. They're engaging the vehicles. So with that in mind, then they would fly in, get to a position where they can't be fired at by this anti-tank guided, by this unit using I think it's called a Stinger. There we go. Let's place it on there, because it's the only infantry unit that can actually possibly use it. That's where it would be. It can't see through these woods. There are no other units I've got that have got anti-tank, anti-air capability. So that's not strictly true. In fact, every unit has some form of anti-air capability. It's so rubbish as compared to one of these guys. You're looking at 6s and such forth. So I would think these helicopters would fly to such a point where they would then be able to target these guys on a second activation. So with that in mind, remember these guys are flying at level 2. Let's enter them on this map board over here. As soon as they fire, that ends their activation. I should flip it back over to its flying mode. Hover mode, they have no movement points. So there, they could fly to here. Ready to go into hover mode on their next activation. And they could still fire with HE. No, that's also a tank. Okay, so they can't see anything else here. I'm not even going to try and fire these with tanks. They've got better targets than helicopters at the present moment. So let's bring in both at that point. That helicopter coming in by there as well. Not directly across that terrain. Okay. That is a soft skin vehicle. So that is susceptible to HE. So let's fire them. Now, if they move, again, they're not affected. Hold on, let me just double check something. They've moved less than, spend at least 1 movement point up to the half movement points on the chart. It says no effect on their fire. So this first helicopter then will fire on this menace over here of mine with range of 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be 3 dice at 5. The orange meaning it's got the ability to move and fire. 3 dice at 5. That's 1 hit. I've got 1 at 5 to, no, 1 at 6 to save. There's no terrain there. 1 at 6 to save. Did, okay. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, is at long range. So that'll be 3 dice at 6. 1 hit. Use 6 to save. No. So this guy is now disrupted. And these 2 are both ops complete. Okay. That will probably be the biggest discussion point, because does that make sense what I did with the helicopters there? Let me know, because there are going to be more scenarios in the future with helicopters. There's no actual guidance in the booklet, but that seemed to sort of make sense. They're wanting to engage my armor rather than the infantry, which are randomly determined, and they've moved so they're ready to hover next time. They're currently 2 levels above the terrain that they are, but I've got no anti-air assets that can see them. This hex here being blocked by these woods here. Okay. On to the next card. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, I say. Right, well, that's the helicopters again. So going through the sequence, they are now removed. Let's refresh step. Command status, they're automatically in command. Missile reload, no need to reload any missiles. Disruption removal, none. So, actions. Draw a card. 56. Now, they have got currently enemy in, well, if they change into hover mode, which we said that we're going to do, well, let's just check. Change into hover mode. So they will have enemy within range. 17 is their normal range. Okay, so that we're going to be in less than half that. Armor is 7, 7, 8, everything they can see is armor-wise is half that. So they've got enemy. So they're looking at point blank. It says assault if firepower less than target, otherwise fire. Well, they're not assault, they aren't assault really capable. So they will fire. So there's a target-rich environment. Okay, so they both go into hover mode. Okay, and there's 1, 2, 3 targets that are easy identifiable. So let's start with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so this one is engaging my Abrams on the hill. That's a range of 8, which is half range. I'm in a range of 17. So it's 4 at 4, which becomes 4 at 3. 4 dice at 3. 1, 2, 3 hits from the anti-tank guided weapon. 3 hits. Okay. So my M1 has got reactive armor. That's denoted by the orange triangle. So that's rolling 4 dice at 5, which will then get 4 dice at 4. Improved chance. I've taken 3 hits. 4 dice at 4. I saved 2 of them. Okay, so he's disrupted. And he's, well, ops complete. This one here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 at the middle Abrams. Okay. Again, point blank, 4 dice at 3. 2 hits. 4 dice at 4 to save. No saves. 2 hits means that he is reduced and disrupted. Effective shooting by the helicopters. Now I've got to determine their ammunition supply. Okay, so let's just put an ops completed. Morale 7, so starting with this one. He's still okay. And then the other one. Both got plenty of ammo. Okay, that's that. Not done. Okay, the East German infantry. Okay, that's these guys here. First off, let us determine, well, it's a refresh step, doesn't refresh. Command status, their HQ is here. The only unit that might be out of command is this guy. So if he moves, he's got a command range of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to keep as many in command. No, he probably would stay there. All right. So therefore determine what happens to this guy. He stays in command. Right. Missile reloads. We've got no missiles to reload. Disruption removal. Okay, morale is 7. There's infantry. Yep. And this one, morale is 7. Yep. Okay. Right. Off-board artillery strikes. Okay, so the East Germans have got 2 lots of HE and they've got smoke. Let's see. Drawing card 45. Looking to see if there's any mention on there about off-board artillery. There is not. So no artillery strikes at this point. Into the action phase. So I'll draw a card. And again, I will start closest, moving towards the back. Card 53. Right. So point blank, this unit, assault if PU, player unit, disrupted. He's not disrupted, otherwise fire. So he will fire into there. So he's looking at 2 at 6, which because it's point blank becomes 2 at 5. 2 hits. Get 1 cover because of the woods. 1 at 5 to save. No save, 2 hits. That actually eliminates him. Good shooting from the East Germans. Gits. And the dragon is gone as well. Okay, he's now marked ops complete. Right, next is this unit. Look at the weapon he's got. He is within point blank range of there. I'm not disrupted. So again, looking at the card 53, assault if player unit disrupted, not otherwise fire. So he will fire onto, that's his most likely target there. Okay, so 4 at 4, which becomes 4 at 3. Two hits. Okay, I've got reactive armor, which is 4 at 5, becomes 4 at 4. But I get a bonus save because I'm in the woods. So 5 at 4 against the 2 hits. Save against them. He's marked out, ops completed. And I will at that point determine his ammo. He's okay on the ammo front. Okay. This guy has no one in line of sight. So now I look at the secondary orders on this card. It says, good order, AEO closest to and in line of sight of a player unit, move towards. So I'm looking at this unit. It just tells me now, good order, AEO closest to and in line of sight of a player unit, move towards. Okay. Closest to and line of sight, which would be this one or this one. 1, 2, 3, it's the infantry. It's not, it's the vehicle. Move towards. Okay. Either way, it looks like he's going to have a minefield to cross. One. Two. Right, rolling for the mine. 1, 2, 3, no effect. No effect. 2. Okay. All right, I'm going to fire this armored unit on it. So, actually not. I'm going to fire. I'll wait for it to get closer. I want this guy to cover down here in case these guys start advancing. So, no, we will fire the Abrams here. So range is 6, so it's not half right, point blank. So it's 4 dice at 5. That's 2 hits. He's got 1 5 at saving throw. No. So he's hit and reduced. And the infantry, so they're not reduced. Everything's disrupted in the hex, and the vehicle is reduced. Infantry is disrupted. Right. And he's marked ops completed. Okay. Next up. That was this one. So we're still back at this unit here. Good order AEO closest to a line. So we're still using that. Still allows us to activate closest to and in line of sight of a player's unit move towards. Okay, so these are all in line of sight. These are all in line of sight. So it looks like, well, according to this card, they're trying to swamp me. 1, 2, 3. 1 to 3. Yeah, my field is useless. Okay, at that point then, I will fire this unit, which is anti-tank guided weapon. 13, so it's point blank, so that's 4 at 4, 4 at 3 to hit. 2 hits. Okay, he doesn't have reactive armor, 2 at 6 to save. 2 hits, 2 at 6 to save. No saves. So he's reduced. And he is disrupted. And ops completed. Which I didn't mark here. All right, got to check with the missiles. Missiles are okay, so he's just ops completed. Okay. This guy can't directly cross the river. This is still using that good order AEO closest to and in line of sight move towards. So 1, 2, 3. I'm not firing the infantry. Ops complete. Okay. Line of sight. This guy's got line of sight, so we'll move towards. 1, 2, 3. 4. 5. Okay, might as well fire it. 1 at 5, 1 at 6. Sorry, 1 at 4 for point blank. No effect. Ops completed there. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ops complete. Again, he's got line of sight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the M13 in this hex will fire at him. 1 at 5. No effect. 6. T55 has got line of sight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'll find me Abrams to him. He would have 4 at 4. 2 hits. He's got 2 at 6 to save. Yep, 2 at 6 to save. No, 2 hits. That's reduced. And actually, I've got the HQ. That gives me another 2. Yeah, they both hit. He can't say that. So he's actually becomes a wreck. Oh, what happened to the wreck? Okay, bring that back. Bring your replace the wreck. Okay. Now they're marked ops completed. Right. These do not have line of sight. So back to this guy who doesn't have line of sight. Good order AO closest to a victory objective or unit, move towards. So they're moving. So there's definitely a move towards command. That hex now congested. So 1, 2, 3. Got 1 H. They've got infantry with HE. Okay. Might as well fire it. He's got range of 1. So it's a long range. So it's 2 at 5 becomes 2 at 6. No effect. He's now marked ops complete. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got nothing to stop them. 6. Should take that back. That was maybe ops completed. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stacking limit is 2. So they can go there as well. Ops completed. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, there's dismounted infantry here. So the infantry joins up with the vehicle, which then expends half its movement to upload infantry. So one vehicle will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Completed. The other one will spend only 3 movement points with the infantry. 1, 2, 3. There we go. HQ will move to that position there with that unit. Ops completed. Ops completed. Okay. 2 units stacked. Out of line of sight. Move towards victory location. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With 6 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mortar will stay there. Oh, The HQ can spot for him. Yeah. And there is instructions to do onboard indirect fire, so the mortar can fire. This is still on card 53. Okay, so he will order him to fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this unit. He's got 2 at 5. Yeah, 2 at 5. 1 hit. And he's got there's an 1 at 6 to save for the woods. No, he becomes disrupted. There's a recon unit. Well, he has got people in line, so hold on, let's determine. Looking at 53, it says his weapon is way out of range. It says execute counteractions. So attack. It says move or move towards cover. The only cover is over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Truck will move in here because it's supporting the mortar unit. This guy, he was in command. He's got, I think he'll move up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ops complete. Ops complete. And ops complete. Well, that was a good card for them. I managed to knock out a few, but I'm definitely getting the feeling of being swamped. Okay, I'm going to end the video at that point because this has gone on for a while. So the next video will be the continuation of this turn. We've still got 2 HQs that haven't been activated yet before we even brought the end of operation cards into this deck. So as I said, this is going to be a long turn. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Any comments, especially around the helicopters and any thoughts regarding that assault and the way it's going. And I'll see you in the next one.